Okay, so we're going to talk about this Klay Thompson joining the Dallas Mavericks on a $50 million contract in NBA free agency. NBA free agency started, and it started with a bang. Okay, so let's go into the article of New York Post. The Splash Brother era has officially came to a close on Monday. Klay Thompson is joining the Dallas Mavericks, leaving the Warriors after 11 seasons, 4 championships, 5 All-Star appearances. This is a major win for the Dallas Mavericks, which got better. Prevents the Lakers from securing the long-range sniper, okay? And as we go into it, LeBron James was willing to take a pay cut for the Los Angeles Lakers to land Thompson, and even spoke to him at the start of free agency, which started Sunday night, by the way. But the 34-year-old chose the Dallas Mavericks. Thompson agreed to a 3-year, $50 million deal. Woo! That's a lot of potatoes. With the Dallas Mavericks, ESPN is reporting. Now, the Warriors, who released a statement Monday night saying they will retire Thompson's number 11 jersey, who helped the franchise win championships. And this will be a sign and trade that will also involve the Charlotte Hornets. The Warriors will receive 2 second-round draft picks, at least the least favorable of the 76ers or the Nuggets 2025 and the Mavericks 2031. Dallas is sending Josh Green to Charlotte as part of the deal, according to ESPN. The Lakers, meanwhile, have been quiet. Okay, so we're going to just end it right there, and we're going to talk about it. Okay, first, Klay Thompson has been a contributing player for the Golden State Warriors. They created the Splash Brothers. They had Draymond Green, Boogie Cousins, Kevin Durant, as well as others joining that franchise, and they have won 4 championships. So a lot of stuff has been cemented about Klay Thompson. That's not going to change just because he's changing uniforms. I think this is a good deal for Klay Thompson. He will go to the Dallas Mavericks. He needs to go to a team that's going to create space for him. Back in Klay Thompson's prime, he was a 3-and-D guy. Since the injuries and he's getting older, he can still provide some defense. I don't think he can provide a top level defense, but he still has a touch, particularly beyond the 3-point line. Okay, now it's not a crazy touch when he was in his prime, but I look at Klay Thompson in this journey of his NBA career as a Ray Allen, particularly with the Dallas Mavericks. He's going to create space. Luka is going to, be, doing Luka. He's going to find Klay Thompson in the corner. He can do pick and rolls with Luka. When it comes to Kyrie, the same thing. He can also just sit back and wait for Kyrie to dance with the ball, dribble, and Kyrie can kick it to Klay Thompson at that last 5-10 seconds. All right. So I think this, from Klay Thompson's standpoint, I think scenery is always good. A change of scenery is always good. And this makes the Dallas Mavericks slightly better in the offense. Now, Klay Thompson had some, he was splashing, and then there was other times he couldn't hit the barn with a bowling ball. Okay. Broadside of a barn with a bowling ball. So you're going to get that. You're also going to get the possibility of Klay Thompson being injured. I mean, he's injury prone. He's an injury prone player. He's an older player, of course, but his usage rate should be above average. They're not going to heavily depend on Klay Thompson. He's also going to be coming off the bench. And a lot of Golden State Warrior fans are going like, whoa, wait a minute. He could have done that with the Golden State Warriors, could have took a haircut, stayed with the Golden State Warriors, and just came off the bench. You just got to look at where the Golden State Warriors are now. And we're also going to be talking about the Los Angeles Lakers and why he chose the Dallas Mavericks. Obviously, the Dallas Mavericks, they went to the finals with what they already had, and they got swept. They didn't get it wasn't a 4 games series. It went to 5, but having Klay Thompson as an additional offensive threat would do wonders for the Dallas Mavericks. I'm pretty sure Jason Kidd is staying up at night trying to figure out the possibilities, the endless possibilities on how to utilize Luka, Kyrie, and now Klay Thompson. Okay, and they got them in a little super team over there. Okay, and they didn't really give up a lot to get Klay Thompson. So I think it's very beneficial. Change of scenery is good for Klay Thompson. It's good for Klay Thompson to go to the Dallas Mavericks. It's good for the Dallas Mavericks to get Klay Thompson. And now when you look at the Golden State moving forward, well, let's just get into the Los Angeles Lakers. The real reason why I feel like Klay Thompson did not want to go to the Los Angeles Lakers, because the Los Angeles Lakers, they're in turmoil. Okay, obviously they're not a playoff team. They're really not a contending team, but they are a team that's going to pack the house with LeBron James. They added Bronny James, JJ Redick. I'm pretty sure a lot of people want to see how he does as a first-time head coach. They did decent in the NBA draft, signing the kid from Tennessee. I feel like that, Los Angeles Lakers are in a building phase, all right? They're transitioning into the future, okay? Obviously, AD and LeBron, they need more, but they just don't have pieces to flip to get better, all right? So, and, LeBron got maybe another 1, 2, possibly 3 years with the Los Angeles Lakers. He's going to retire a Los Angeles Laker. And with AD, who knows, AD down the road may want to be traded. If I was AD, I would be in line to go ahead and start the trading process this season. There's a lot of teams out there that that I feel like AD could really benefit from those teams. All right, but the Los Angeles Lakers are not going anywhere, and Klay Thompson knew that. All right, he could have stayed on the West Coast. He could have played for an organization, a franchise that his father played for, Los Angeles. But Klay Thompson Klay Thompson comes off as an individual that wants to blaze his own trail. Okay, he's a trendsetter. He doesn't want to follow in the footsteps of his father. And I'm not hating on anyone that does do that. And I know a lot of people are going to listen to this video and say, "Oh, you're trying to say something about Bronny and LeBron." No, that's further from what I was thinking about. But I feel like going to Dallas is a better basketball decision than going to Los Angeles. I'm just sorry, folks. It just is. The Dallas Mavericks were in the NBA Finals. Even though they got beat by the Boston Celtics, now adding Klay Thompson, it adds another threat on the wing. It helps them offensively. And Klay Thompson has, throughout his years, he's not been a person that has a huge ego. He checks his ego at the door. He's going to let Luka cook. He's going to let Kyrie cook. And he's just going to just blend in. Okay? So, and he's coming off the bench. All right? So, I think this is great. This is great for Dallas. Great for Klay. I just don't see any negativity or something bad about this decision. Now, like I said, we just got through talking about the Los Angeles Lakers. I don't think he wanted to be traded to the Los Angeles Lakers because they're not going anywhere. Okay, I feel like Klay Thompson really wants to win a ring, possibly two. And he wants some more hardware, and he wants to win. And you'll win more with Dallas than you will with Los Angeles. Now, Los Angeles did sign. I mean, they did sign DeRozan. I always butcher his first name. I in the grand scheme of things, it's a solid signing, but it's not going to catapult the Los Angeles Lakers into contention or winning a title anytime soon. Okay, that's enough on that. All right, so let's look at the Golden State Warriors. Clearly, the Golden State Warriors are rebuilding. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you why they're rebuilding. The era is over with. The Splash Brothers are over with. They're stuck with a contract of Draymond Green that nobody wants, despite what all these podcasts, these player-centric podcasts tell you. Believe what you want to believe. There is no market for Draymond Green with that type of contract. Now, there is a market for Draymond Green, but nobody is going to overspend to get Draymond Green. I think Draymond Green could still contribute to another ball club, particularly a contending ball club. Could you imagine Draymond Green with the Philadelphia 76ers? Could you imagine Draymond Green with the Miami Heat? That's what I'm talking about. A tough guy, all right, who adds toughness, okay? So, yeah, obviously the Golden State Warriors are transitioning into rebuilding. They're starting all over. And with Steph, I think they're going to keep Steph. Steph is going to retire or go to State Warrior. I don't think there's nothing in the plans where they're willing to trade Steph Curry. I just think whatever the dice roll, the dice are going to roll. I think the Golden State Warriors, even without Klay Thompson, and I think they waived Chris Paul, I still have more faith in the Golden State Warriors than I do with the Los Angeles Lakers. It's a more stable franchise, and they still got Steph Curry. Steph Curry can win you a lot of games. Draymond Green can win you a few games with his toughness and the way how he plays on the court. And they got they already been in the process of relying heavily in the draft. They got Kuminga and those other players. I think the Golden State Warriors are in this situation, and I always say there's teams that are always in this situation. You have teams that are above 500 that's going to contend, make a deep run in the playoff, possibly win the NBA championship. And then you got the cellar dwellers, as well as we're building for the future. We're not trying to contend. But then you got that mid-tier team, teams that are good, that are good, but not good enough to contend, and they don't suck as much to get a fabulous draft pick, a first round draft pick. Okay, so they're stuck in the middle. And you don't want to be stuck in the middle, okay? Ask the Los Angeles Lakers how that worked for the Los Angeles Lakers. I do, ask the Phoenix Suns how that's that's before they added Kevin Durant, and I forgot the guy who came from Washington, but still, you don't want to be and the Clippers. You don't want to be in that situation, all right? And that's what the Golden State Warriors find themselves. So, I do feel like Steve Kerr is going to rely heavily on the younger talent, see what they got. And if it doesn't work out with this talent, it would not surprise me none if they start trading these pieces for draft picks. That's going to be very beneficial for the Golden State Warriors. They're saying 2 years from now, the NBA draft is going to be better. Top to bottom is going to be talent galore. Okay, but that's 2 years from now. Okay, So there's a lot of players that were picked in this draft. They need to be very, very careful. They need to produce very, very fast, because today's draft pick could be tomorrow's player that's in the developmental league or in semi-pro. All right. So players that are draft, you're on the clock right now. But as far as the Golden State Warriors go, they're clearly rebuilding. Clearly rebuilding. They Steph, yeah, he's going to win you a lot of games, but he's not going to get you deep into the playoffs and winning a championship. Draymond Green is injury prone, and he's outside his prime. And teams are going to double up on Steph, and they're going to make Steph kick the ball out to someone else. They're going to let someone else win these games, not Steph Curry. Now they can truly double team Steph Curry and don't have to worry about a Klay Thompson sitting on the wing, or a Kevin Durant sitting on the wing, or Boogie Cousins, or when Draymond Green was in his prime. Okay, so they have no fear. They're going to really put a lot of pressure, a full court pressure on Steph Curry, and they're going to make Steph Curry kick that ball out and depend on somebody else. Not to say Steph Curry is a point guard, okay? So that's, to me, that's the future of the Golden State Warriors. I do not see the Golden State Warriors contending for an NBA championship. I don't see the Golden State Warriors even contending. I think they're going to be that mid-tier team, that middle team. And they're just going to set themselves up 2 years down the road. Now, in 2 years, who knows? Somebody may want Draymond Green with that huge contract. I seriously doubt it. Steph Curry, he may retire in 2 years. Okay. I mean, Steph Curry has everything what he needs. Okay. He has a beautiful family. He has all the accolades. He has the hardware. Or there might be a possibility with Steph, and Steph is still kind of young, will demand a trade and wants to be traded someplace else. And I feel like the Golden State Warriors will if that's what Steph Curry wants, they're going to give that to Steph Curry. But I do feel like Steph Curry is one of those type of players that's going to ride and die for their organization. He's going to be there when they're at their finest, and he's still going to be there at their lowest, as long as he can go home and be with his beautiful family. He's already got the hardware. He really has nothing to prove. There's really no rhyme or reason why Steph Curry would demand a trade to get more hardware. He's got 4 chips. Okay. He's good. He's all right. He's not in the same situation as Kevin Durant. I think Kevin Durant squandered his legacy and I knew this was going to hurt him on the tookish when he said, "Oh, legacy smegacy." Okay, who cares about a legacy? I really think he's having second thoughts about that. But going back to the Golden State Warriors, this is very good. Golden State Warriors are rebuilding. This is very good for Klay Thompson. Extremely good for the Dallas Mavericks and Jason Kidd. And it also just goes to show the Los Angeles Lakers, it's just a clown show right now. They're not good enough to get any real talent. You're going to get people that's on their last leg, on their last run, on their swan song that will probably go to Los Angeles. But, at the end of the day, it's not going to mean a hill of beans. And Los Angeles Lakers, they're rebuilding. Okay. They're not trying to contend. And yeah, that's it. That's all I got, guys. So guys, tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys next week, unless something major happens. I don't see anything major happening. I know there's going to be more signings in NBA free agency, but I feel like the Paul George and the Klay Thompson are going to be the 2 biggest stories from NBA free agency. LeBron James is not going anywhere. Kevin Durant is not going anywhere. Okay. I don't see Steph being traded this year, maybe next year, or maybe not. I feel like Steph Curry is going to stay where he's at. All right, that's my humble estimation. I don't see the Greek Freak demanding a trade. I don't see Dame demanding a trade. I just don't see Tatum or Brown demanding a trade in Boston. By the way, they signed White to a huge contract to stay with the Boston Celtics. By the way, I just don't see any major star on the landscape that's going to be traded anytime soon. I think everything is going to remain the same. And, I don't even see Kawhi Leonard leaving. I think the Clippers made their decision, either Kawhi or Paul George, and they chose Kawhi over Paul George. And Paul George went to the Philadelphia 76ers. And I'll be honest with you, I was kind of shocked by him going to Philadelphia because of his internal discussions with Joel. I don't think Joel appreciates Paul George, but now since he's a teammate of the Philadelphia 76ers, Joel's going to swallow whatever he thinks about Paul George because now he's a teammate, okay? To me, I look at that situation as them just making a decision. They push Paul George out, and they want to keep Kawhi. They feel like Kawhi is, the franchise. And I've been saying this for a while now. Kawhi is outside his prime. I don't think the Kawhi Leonard that you're getting with the Clippers is not you're not getting the Kawhi Leonard of the Toronto Raptors. You're not going to get the Kawhi Leonard of the San Antonio Spurs, okay? And Kawhi with James Harden, Russell Westbrook opt in. It's just way too many guys. There's way too many ISO players. Even when they had Paul George, way too many ISO players. It didn't work. It didn't work with James Harden and Russell Westbrook when it was in Houston. Why would y'all think it will work? They're much older players with the Clippers. And I think Paul George saw the writing on the wall. Another year with James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Kawhi is in and out of the lineup. This is not going anywhere. So he wanted to try something different. So, yeah, that's all. I feel like that's all the major stories. I don't see Joel leaving. I think everything's going to stay as is, as status quo, unless there's someone that's throwing a monkey wrench in free agency. Like, it wouldn't surprise me none if, Kyrie announced that he no longer wants to play for the Dallas Mavericks midway through NBA free agency. That's just the type, I don't see it, but it would not surprise me if it does happen. But guys, tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. I'm up out of here. Deuces.